The vertical line test is a way that we can look at a graph of a function, look at a graph and determine if it represents a function of x. Now, this goes back to the definition of a function. A function is where if you plug in an x value, you get one and only one y value. And so graphically what that means is for each x value, there can only be one y value. Now, the vertical line test says draw vertical lines which are specifically x equals a number. Okay, every vertical line is actually just x equals some number. And so the vertical line test says that if no vertical line will intersect the curve more than once, okay, meaning there's no more than one y value for a given x value, then there is then this graph represents a function of x. Let me show you why that is here. So I'm just going to take this vertical line here, I'm going to move it around. This vertical line here represents a single value of x. And you'll notice it only crosses the graph at one point, okay, right here. And I could move it over, okay, and everywhere that it is, it only touches the graph in one point, okay, and then up here, it only touches in this single point all the way across. That means there is only one y value for each of these x values. And so that means that this is a function of x. So this is a function of x, or we'd say it passes the vertical line test. Now, let's go look at the other one. This second one over here, as I move through different x values, I'm crossing only in one spot. However, right here, we start hitting more than one spot, right? At this x value, I've got this point, and I've got this point, and I've got this point. So for that given value of x, there are 3 different y values. So that means it's not a function of x, because a function can only have one y value for a given x value. And so this is not a function of x. Not a function of x. Now, in most textbooks and applications, most people will not say of x, they'll just say this is a function or not a function. And when they say that, generally what they mean is a function of x. Because if you flip it around, just from the definition of a function, you could technically talk about functions of y, but we don't generally do that. And so if someone just says it's a function or not a function, you can know that that implies we're talking about functions of x.